The Pacific Northwest, rainy, isolated, and bubbling with discontent. This was the fertile ground where grunge took root. Bands like Soul Asylum and Mudhoney were early pioneers. Their music was raw, loud, and full of angst. Soul Asylum, with their melodic sensibilities, hinted at the potential for broader appeal. Mudhoney embodied the underground, their sound a visceral assault on the polished pop of the late 80s. These bands, along with others like Green River and the Melvins, created a scene that rejected the excessive, the artificial, and the insincere. These early grunge bands weren't looking for mainstream success. They were fueled by a DIY ethic. They recorded their own music, booked their own shows, and built a community around their shared passion. This independent spirit became a defining characteristic of grunge. It was a rejection of the corporate music industry and a celebration of authenticity. The music reflected this ethos. Guitars were distorted, vocals raw with emotion, and lyrics often explored themes of alienation, frustration, and a search for identity. The sound was a reaction to the prevailing trends in music. Hair metal, with its focus on image and excess, dominated the airwaves. Grunge was the antithesis. It was stripped down, raw, and real. The fashion reflected this rebellion. Flannel shirts, ripped jeans, and Doc Martens replaced the spandex and hairspray of the glam metal scene. This rejection of the mainstream resonated with a generation disillusioned with the superficiality of popular culture. The early grunge scene was a crucible. It fostered a sense of community and collaboration. Bands shared members, influenced each other's sound, and pushed each other creatively. This fertile environment would give rise to a new wave of bands that would take grunge from the underground to the global stage. Bands like Nirvana, Pearl Jam, and Soundgarden were waiting in the wings, ready to unleash the raw power of grunge on the world. Nirvana's arrival was a seismic event. Smells Like Teen Spirit became an anthem for a generation hungry for something real.
Kurt Cobain, with his tortured lyrics and explosive performances, became an icon. He was the reluctant spokesperson for a generation disillusioned with the status quo.
Nirvana's music was a visceral expression of alienation, frustration, and longing. Their breakthrough album, Nevermind, was a game-changer. It topped the charts, dethroning Michael Jackson and signaling a changing of the guard. Suddenly, grunge was everywhere. The music that had been brewing in the Pacific Northwest infiltrated the mainstream. MTV put grunge videos on heavy rotation, and major labels scrambled to sign grunge bands.
Nirvana's success opened the floodgates for other Seattle bands. Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, and Soundgarden all achieved mainstream success. Each brought their unique flavor to the grunge sound. Pearl Jam, with Eddie Vedder's powerful vocals and socially conscious lyrics, became a stadium-filling force. Alice in Chains explored darker themes of addiction and despair with their sludgy riffs and haunting melodies. Soundgarden, led by Chris Cornell's incredible vocal range, combined elements of heavy metal with grunge's raw energy.
The grunge explosion wasn't limited to Seattle. Stone Temple Pilots from San Diego achieved massive success with their own brand of grunge-infused hard rock. The music industry was transformed. Grunge had become a cultural phenomenon, influencing fashion, television, and youth culture worldwide. Pearl Jam emerged as one of the most influential bands of the grunge era. Their debut album 10 was a critical and commercial success, and it solidified their place in the grunge pantheon.
Pearl Jam's music was characterized by Eddie Vedder's powerful vocals and the band's commitment to social and political issues. They brought a different energy to the grunge scene, one that was both introspective and anthemic.
Pearl Jam's influence extended beyond their music. They were known for their activism and their fight against the corporate music industry. Their battle with Ticketmaster over concert ticket prices was a landmark moment in the music industry.
Pearl Jam's dedication to their principles and their refusal to conform to industry norms set them apart. They continued to evolve musically, exploring new sounds and themes while staying true to their grunge roots. Their longevity and continued relevance are a testament to their impact on the music world.
Pearl Jam's success helped to expand the grunge spectrum, showing that the genre could encompass a wide range of sounds and ideas. Their willingness to experiment and push boundaries has kept them at the forefront of rock music for decades.
The legacy of Pearl Jam and other grunge bands is still felt today. Their music continues to inspire new generations of musicians and fans, and their influence can be seen in the continued popularity of alternative and indie rock.
The grunge movement may have been born out of discontent and rebellion, but it gave rise to some of the most influential and enduring music of the late 20th century. Pearl Jam's journey is a testament to the power of authenticity and the enduring appeal of grunge.
You know, it's better to burn out than to fade away.
When Kurt died, it felt like a part of me died too. It was the end of something really special.
Kurt Cobain's tragic death in 1994 marked a significant turning point. It wasn't just the loss of a talented musician, but the end of an era for grunge music and its fans.
Grunge might not be in the mainstream anymore, but its influence is everywhere. You can hear it in the raw, emotional honesty of today's music.
The grunge movement challenged the status quo and left an indelible mark on the music industry. Its legacy lives on through the countless artists it inspired.
The impact of grunge is undeniable. Even decades later, its spirit of rebellion and authenticity continues to resonate with new generations of musicians and fans alike.
I think grunge can make a comeback, but it has to evolve. It can't just be a carbon copy of the 90s.
Revival is possible, but it would need to reflect the current social and cultural landscape. Grunge was born out of a specific time and place, but its core values are timeless.
The question of whether grunge can be revived remains open. While the original movement may have ended, its influence and spirit continue to inspire hopeful possibilities for the future.